Welcome to the FRC Top 25 Week 1. Crescendo is back, baby. What an incredible lineup of teams that we have here today. We'll, of course, be detailing more of the top 25 teams as voted on by you, our audience. The hundreds of us who have coming in, thank you so much for doing that. But we're also going to be showcasing our top 50 teams. We won't go into as much detail, but at least showcase and recognize who they are as well, too. Each one of us has picked out a snub of the week. We'll be showing off our clips of the week as submitted by the community and lots of giveaways as well, too. Let's get ready for Week 1 of the FRC Top 25. This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following. Discover how Kettering University students engineer their success with Kettering's amazing co-op employment programs where students earn great pay and gain valuable experience. Those accepted into Kettering University can apply for a robotics scholarship, providing up to an additional $5,000 a year in tuition assistance. Head on over to kettering.edu/first to learn more and apply. Support Fun's content creators when you sign up for a membership on YouTube Join. You'll get access to special perks like emotes, loyalty badges, and Fun members will even get early access to our scheduled videos and more. 100% of this revenue will go back to our correspondents to help recognize their efforts. Click the join button in any YouTube video to pledge your support. Welcome to the FRC Top 25 for week number 1 here in Crescendo. For first updates now, I'm Tyler Olds.
I'm Ari McMahon.
I'm Christina.
Christine! See, we're already starting out good.
I'm Christina Tia, and I screwed it up.
Fair enough. So, what's going on for week 1, everybody? Let's check in. Let's see what everybody's doing and how week 1 went for everybody as well. Ari, let's start with you. Any thoughts from week 1 as we enter in?
Yeah, so I was with my team, 8085 Mojo. We were up at Hartford this weekend, and I think my number one takeaway from week 1 was that, holy cow, the kit bot worked. Wow. So we were at a very, very strong mid-level event, and there wasn't a team there that didn't score at least once. It was amazing to see. Everyone had the capability of scoring, and it makes me really excited for where the floor of FRC is headed. So pretty excited for this season. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, for me, so I got to spend my time at the Duluth double-decker, the Northern Lights and Great Superior Regional, 120 teams, give or take. I hate can wires, Team 6045. We hate can wires because we successfully drove for a full match in the playoffs only one time. Somehow we made the finals, we were the first pick. We were one match short of the finals, and then our can wire gremlins caught up to us. But, from my initial perspective on this game, don't show our match, Tyler. That's cruel.
You won this one. It's all right.
Okay, whatever. But what I would say is I am so excited to watch as this game develops and grows. The strategic depth that I think we're going to see throughout the year is going to be unbelievable. It has the potential to be an all-timer, in my opinion.
Wow. Strong word. I miss the double-decker, by the way. I used to MC that a long time ago.
It's super fun.
It is such a cool venue. Duluth is awesome, by the way. Like, it is a super cool city. So really, really cool with that. Christine, what were you up to in week 1?
Yeah, so week 1, I zipped up to Salem, New Hampshire, and checked out the Granite State District. I really wanted to see Jamie
Connor
Lewis in
announced?
person.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Connor was doing some game announcing. Abby Maynard was on mic. There was a huge showing of incredible teams from New England there. Just solid showing. I was shocked, like Ari said, just at how the kitbot worked. Seeing how consistent the entire event was. There were maybe 2 teams that didn't have swerve at that whole event. It was an absolute powerhouse event. I was only there for a little bit. I bumped into Frank, which was really cool. It was a really cool showing of people. I was absolutely blown away by the level of competition there. And shout out to Infinite Loop. I feel like they have a really great robot this year. They're a small team from way up in Maine, and they had a great showing this past weekend. And I'm excited to see what they do later this season. But week 1, I feel like everybody had a pretty solid showing across the board.
Shout out to Ari, by the way, for nailing your forecast. on the teams that were in the finals. Holy crap! So I was like looking at it because PBC Pirates was your dark horse, right? I think for it, and they ended up taking the number 1 seed. And I was just like looking like, okay, you got like you expect like Buck's Wrath and Mechanical Advantage and that sort of thing to make it up there, but then PBC Pirates, that was your dark horse, taking the number 1 seed. I think was a awesome pick there.
The key there was that they also competed week 0, and I also saw them at week 0, so I did cheat a little bit, but yes.
A little bit of an
cool.
advantage. But I think it
sure,
could
I'll take it. I'll take it.
It could have gone a lot of different ways too, and I think this game, at least what I saw in New England in particular, like the rankings definitely shift around a bit more than I had expected, I guess. When you have enough teams that are kind of clustered in that like mid to top tier, and depending on how the algorithm gods are for you, this game is, like you guys said, it's only going to get up from here. It's crazy.
So I was out at Kettering 1 for a day, and then on my way back, I stopped at Indiana Mishawaka. I'm going to mispronounce that a million times because I just cannot pronounce those letters. And it was really cool. Watching the game so far, it is the quietest game I have ever experienced. Like, in my opinion, at least of the 2 venues I was at, like the robots didn't seem very loud. One thing I'm going to say, I never thought I would say this. I think there's a lack of field noises. Like, I kind of wish when a amplification happened that there was like a power-up sound or something like that kind of notified the field that this was happening or something like that, because really the only sound is that guitar riff kind of at the end, right? In the last 20 seconds. And the rest of the time, at least the 2 venues I was at, the crowds are loud and stuff like that, but like, I thought overall, I don't know if it's the motor limitations or what, it just seemed like everything was super quiet compared to other years. That, or I'm really old and I'm just going.
We had a ton of lawnmowers at the double decker. There were some flywheels that I didn't want to get within 20 feet of. So that might have been just a you thing, Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah, just wait until you hear 1768 in Western New England. I love how that robot sounds.
All right, fair enough on there. So before we go into the top 25, any other general thoughts that we want to say in regards to the game or anything else that you want to bring up before we hop in?
What a heck of a week 1. It's only going to go up from here. Also, I'm going to clarify that I'm sick, so if my voice cracks, that's why.
Yeah, okay.
Don't get too close to us, Ryan.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about a couple things for the FRC 25, top 25, especially if you're new and joining us for the first time. Welcome. And if you're returning back, great to see you back. We know many of you have been on for a really, really long time, since the Mike and Justin years as well. So no matter how long you've been with us, we appreciate you being here. So a few things we're going to mention is when teams come up, you're going to notice some stats that are listed on the teams. You're going to see the team rank, their team number and their team name, that sort of thing. And then you're going to see some stats called EPA. So if you haven't been over to our friends at statbotics.io, this is a fantastic website that details what does EPA stand for? Expected points average. Is that right? Something like that.
Expected points added.
Thank you. So this is a breakdown essentially of how teams have been doing over the course of not just this year, but also taking effect of especially teams who haven't competed in previous years as well too. It might assign some stats. Now, the good thing about the FRC top 25 is that voting is only eligible for teams who actually competed in week 1, and we cut that off at essentially ISR 3 and 4, and then Smoky Mountains are not eligible for this. They'll be eligible for week 2, but we have some extra stats in there. None of these stats are going to be the exact perfect answer for anything. So keep that in mind. These are just different data points that we present to you. The voting is purely based on the community vote as well. So if you want to vote, hop in and vote for that. We have several hundred voters every single week at firstupdatesnow.com/FRC top 25, which will open on Sundays by 5 p.m. Eastern, sometimes earlier, and closes on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. Just a quick note, please make sure you do vote legitimately. It's very easy for us to flag it, but it is time consuming. So please make sure that you are voting within the rules and realm of what we have for things as well too. So with that said, let's go ahead and hop into our FRC top 25. We'll have some giveaways, some other stuff coming up a little bit later, but I think it's time we hop in and introduce our 25th team. So Ari, let's send it over to you.
All right, let's get into it. Our first top 25 for the season. Quick to start us off, it's Quicksilver, Team 604 from San Jose, California, and Leland High School. 14th in the world in EPA and 2nd in OPR at their event. With a record of 11-6-1, they were the 3rd seed captain and finalists at the Silicon Valley Regional. Their robot is similar to the RI3D Redux archetype. They have an over-the-bumper collector that hands off to a pivoting shooter, but everything has been optimized on this robot to move as little as possible. In an impressive feat of optimization, 604 has a 4-note auto that then beat 1678 to the midline to pick up notes. That is just how fast they are. Past their 6-note auto, they cycle to the amp in the near wing line speaker. Their cycling allowed them to work efficiently as an alliance, even taking a match off the powerhouse 581-1678 matchup in finals. Perhaps they're this low because they mostly cycled to the amp in playoffs, but 604 is one of my top 10 teams this week, and seeing them this low honestly surprised me. Either way, congrats on the finals at a tough event. We get to see them play twice more before they hopefully venture to Houston. So catch them at Sacramento and Monterey Bay weeks 3 and 5. What do we think about 604 as our 25th team here?
You know, for me, just really smooth driving, really well practiced pathing. You know, every move they made, they might have been going kind of slow, but they were so smooth, and every action they took was very calculated. It's why they're on the list. I agree with you. They're probably a little bit low for my taste.
Yeah, looking at Quicksilver, they've had a lot of great performances over the past years for this, and yeah, I think Quicksilver does live up to their name many times. I think they do fast cycles, and I think it's really cool to see where they're at. Now, there's going to be plenty of teams. It's kind of that catch-22, right? Because there's plenty of teams that are also deserving to be up here that won't make it. So to get on when you have, I think there's like 1,200 teams that were voted and stuff. I think it's awesome. Could they be a little higher? Sure. I think either way they're a fantastic team, and can't wait to see their next event.
In the next slot, giving us some FMA representation here, it's 5895 Petty Robotics from Hightstown, New Jersey, and Petty High School. With a record of 15-2-0, they are currently third in the FMA district, being the first pick of the first seed and winners of the Hatboro-Horsham district event. They have a unique robot design with a pivoting shooter on an elevator that can score consistently in the amp and the speaker from a number of different locations. 5895 is consistently one of the best teams in FMA, and this year is proving no different. They're the defending champs of the district championship title for 2 years in a row, and they're looking to make it 3. They start the match with either a 4-note auto or a 3-note side auto that pulls from the center, and then effortlessly hand off between the amp and speaker cycles. There's room for this robot to improve, but they've certainly hit the ground running this season, and I'm very impressed with what I've seen from them so far. So congrats on the win and the quality award, and don't forget to watch them next at FMA's Bensalem District Week 4. So my comment on this team is that match videos are not up on TBA for any of the FMA events, which did make it very difficult to vote for them. So I think that this is absolutely a wonder that they're even in our 24 spot here, but I like them a lot more.
Yeah, Petty's been a fantastic team. Their last couple years of performances have been just absolutely incredible out there. I can't, I don't know. Are they playing next week? I forget. So, because I'm going to be on FMA next week. Oh, okay. So that's just funny. But so I'm going to be on FMA next week. I would love to see them play. But yeah, either way, what a fantastic team and great performances that they've had.
Taking us a bit more west, it's Hilltopper Robotics from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Marquette University High School. With a semi-undefeated record of 13-0-1, they were certainly at the top of the hill at the Lake Superior Regional this past weekend as the number 1 seed and winner. Starting the match with an amp side 4-note that pulls 2 from the wing and 2 from the center line, 1732 follows the 2 in amp, 2 in the speaker pattern well, often opting to pile notes in their wing to shoot during amplification. This team plays smart, and they have a robot that complements their playstyle well. Being a good driver early always pays off, and 1732 is one of the best examples of this season so far. Congrats on the win, and they have 3 events this season before championships, so we'll see them at Wisconsin and St. Louis before heading on down to Houston.
Yeah, I got a couple of buddies on Hilltoppers, and I go way back with them. I can't wait to see them at Wisconsin as well, too. Yeah, phenomenal performance by them. We didn't really get to see much of Hilltoppers, or really at all, before their first event for things, so really cool to see them come out. The way that the rankings kind of shift and stuff like that. Nightcrawler to me was a team that coming in was a very good lock coming to this event. Hilltoppers was a team that had a lot of success in previous years, but not seeing anything was a mystery, and it's really cool to see that they were able to do so well and pick up that victory.
1732 for me. They came out of the gate slow last year. They struggled a little bit early on. Toward the end of the year, they kind of got rolling. And by the end of the year, they were really good, right? This year, seeing them come out of the gate so strong, to see where they're going to go this year is a little bit scary. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with at every event they attend.
Climbing the hill to be at the top of the hill. Wow. All right. On that note,
I thought you were going to sing the
next up
song.
we have. No, I
right.
don't actually. There's a song.
That you know, the running up the hill, you know, like from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Kate Bush. I know that song.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna move on. Next up, we have Team 3357 Comets from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Eastern, Central, and Northern high schools. They were the first rank and winner of the FIM Battle Creek District. Currently tied for first in Michigan with a record of 16-1-0. They have a low-profile pivoting shooter that is a star in the teleoperated period. The House of Tank has truly fallen with 3357's entry to Swerve this year. Switching to a new drive system takes a good deal of driver skill and practice, and it certainly looks like 3357 has had that. They played well under defense in finals, and despite a few misses from their shooter, they outmaneuvered their opponents each match for the win. Congrats on shooting for the Stars with the win at Battle Creek, and can't wait to see them play next at West Michigan in Week 4.
Battle Creek was
truly love seeing them on Swerve Drive. They're fun to watch. They're who's the only other one? 971. Only God tier tank drive robot. I think 971's the last one that we haven't seen yet change. But yeah, watching 3357 on Swerve, it's a treat.
I thought you were breaking some news here, Ryan, that 971 was confirmed for tank drive. I was going to say, wow, but
I'm not breaking.
That would surprise me, honestly.
But I would bet that they are.
All right, looking forward to that.
All right, I would take that bet. I don't think they are at all. All right, we're gonna hop over to 21. It's Hall of Fame team 503 Frog Force from Novi, Michigan, and Novi High School. With a record of 14-4-0, they were the first pick of the second seed at the Phil Milford event, winner of the Autonomous Ward and District event winner. Their robot has an under-the-bumper intake and pivoting vertical shooter on an arm. 503 starts the match with any number of different autos, preferring a 4-note that pulls 2 from the wing and 2 from the middle. They collect fast and they switch between the amp and the speaker just as easily. They consistently hit the melody ranking point in most of their matches, and they look like they have the capability of doing the trap, but they just haven't scored in it yet. This robot has a very high ceiling, and I'm looking forward to seeing them become a force to be reckoned with. Congrats on the win, and we'll see them next at the First in Michigan Muskegon District in Week 3.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan has 5 events pretty much every single week, right? So they're going to get a lot of good viewership on them. I'm glad that, when we look at some of the FIM events going on, we just talked about Comets, right? And I think really the 2 big events that got a lot of the viewership this week was Kettering 1 and Milford, which is what this event as well, too. So it's really cool to see that, think of 503. 503 is a really good team. I don't know if I would have pegged them immediately to be a lock for this event, but I'm really glad to see that they really came out flying and just had a fantastic start to the year. And they can only, in my opinion, you're just going to keep seeing more and more from 503. Thinking about them last year and what they were able to continue to do, I think that's going to translate well into this year and already has for them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was super excited to see that they had such a great showing this past weekend. But the more I look at these teams that we're talking about so far, the more I realize how many teams started off week 1 that are big name teams. I feel like I missed so many of them too that I was like, wait a minute, what? They played this past weekend too? But shout out to 503. That's a never ending hustle that team has got going on. They're constantly improving on their on-field performance, and I mean, clearly they've constantly had the off-field performance going. So I'm excited to see what more they bring this season.
That must have been a heck of an event. You got 503 and Hot on a 2 seed. I wish I would have known about that. That's crazy. All right. So now moving on, at number 20, we have team 1058, the PVC Pirates, coming from Londonderry, New Hampshire. They're the finalists of the New England Granite State event with a record of 14-3-0. They played extremely cleanly throughout their quals matches, only losing 1 match. They ended quals ranked first, where they would pick teams 63-28 and 79-13 to join their alliance. They would cruise their way onto the finals on the winner's side of the bracket, where they would unfortunately fall short in back-to-back finals matches against a strong number 2 seed. The robot drives super smoothly across the field using a Quokka RI3D style arm that hands off from an under the bumper intake. It'd be really great to see what the PVC Pirates have in store before their next event, New England URI. So good luck to 1058 at their future events.
We're competing at URI, and we were like, oh yeah, it's 1058, like they're probably going to be fine. And then we watched this event, and holy cow, it is so impressive to see a team that is traditionally like the mid-tier of New England go to just being this absolutely dominant level. I am so excited to see 1058 on there, and absolutely for good reason. Like the cycles that they were putting up over the course of the event, like you're hitting like 9s, 10s consistently. Like this
They
is
were
by
easily,
far
and I
so
will
good.
agree with you, Ari. Like I was surprised at how well they did. They were leading the pack this past weekend. Like you had Bucks there, you had, I mean, in 131 Chaos, shout out to them. They are back, baby. Their robot reminds me of like their 2000 robot. But I will say, like, this event was no joke. And for them to show up that well, and I will agree, like 1058 traditionally gets kind of lost in the sauce with like Wyndham, and Force Team and other people that are just showing up to Einstein constantly, but they are consistent. Their autonomous was incredible. They were by far the fastest and most consistent floor pickup team of the top 5 that were, as I would say, consistent with their cycles and their scoring. I know they have some alumni that came back. I believe Jay O'Donnell may be back on that team, but they have a lot of people that I think are showing up and have been working hard the last few years, but I think they're finally hitting their stride this year. So well done, 1058. Standout New Hampshire team. It's not easy to do that these days.
All right.
Also, did you say Londonderry or Londonderry? Because if you said Berry, I like the idea.
You're gonna get
that.
made fun of. It is.
No, but
Londonderry.
like
I definitely spelt it out saying dairy. I might have said berry.
you caught my attention. I was like, berries? I'm here for it.
You might have to look at the film. I don't know.
We don't
All
do
right,
that in
so-
FRC. So
Sticking around New England, coming in at number 19, we have Team 5687, the Outliers, hailing from Portland, Maine. They were the winners of the New England Granite State District event with a record of 13-4-1. This robot seems to have been built with simplicity in mind. They used an under-the-bumper intake, an extremely consistent shooter made to shoot from a distance. They would use this design to execute extremely efficient cycles throughout the event, which would help them get picked by 6329 Bucks Wrath, second overall. The Outliers would also team up with 238, and together they would go on to win the event. With this being the second year in a row where the Outliers would win the Granite State event, it would be really great to see what they have in store for the rest of the year. Good luck to 5687. Great start to the year, and looking forward to seeing what you have coming up.
So another great Granite State District team. This was the other team in finals. Just a testament to how good this event was. But 5687, if you look at Wyndham's build blog, they have this graph on there that shows that they were kind of like, like they were hitting their stride, and then they kind of went down a little bit. But then on Saturday, which was the second day of the event, they just absolutely hit their stride. They peak straight upwards, and that's
how
cool
that's how they
see.
roll. Literally, like this robot and the way that they started their season off reminds me so much of their 2017 robot hitting like their first day, and even when I was there Saturday morning on the second day of the event, they looked like they were a little too in fast forward mode. That's kind of like everybody's like most visual descriptive of them when they first come out. It's like slow down, like it's gonna be okay. But I think they kind of like got the hang of things by midday Saturday, and again, like I'm kind of scared to see where they go from here, because Outliers, when they're on, like, and there's no stopping them, especially in a cycling game. They play really smart and they play really effectively, so good start for them.
Yeah, Outliers, maybe the only team this year running Diffie Swerve, completely legally, by the way. Did it behind the bumpers with them, and that is what they are. So if they look faster, they are.
Do you mind, Ari, can you just give a brief synopsis of what Diffie Swerve is?
So Diffie Swerve is a differential swerve drive where you use both motors in order to power both your steering and your movement. So technically illegal because you're using both motors to do it. But the way that Outliers does this, and I'm probably going to butcher this explanation, is that they have a shifter inside their swerve modules that allows them to take power from only one motor at a time and use it for each of what they're doing. I don't know. You can ask them about it or watch them behind the bumpers, but
No, I think
what
it's
they're
pretty
doing.
well explained.
Yeah.
I take back my comment about them being simple. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, they're outliers for sure.
Definitely. All right, moving on now. Coming in at number 18, we have Team 2231, Onyxtronics from Shoham Hamerkaz, Israel. They were the winners of ISR2 and came away from the event with an impressive record of 15-2-0. Onyxtronics just dominated their event. They ranked first, and they would go on to pick Team 7039 and rookie Team 9739 for their playoff alliance. The strong number one alliance went through the playoffs without dropping a single match. This robot was able to rank highly by running very clean cycles throughout the event, using an over-the-bumper intake with very clean shooting and a focus on the amp. Their amp mechanism doubled as an effective trap mechanism, which they used very strategically on their path towards winning the event. Good luck at ISR 4 and everything beyond that.
It's really cool to see that ISR2 is getting some love as well too from the community. When you have such teams coming in like Bumblebee and Orbit, who we'll be talking about later. Spoiler from ISR1 coming in. It's great to see that ISR2 is also getting that recognition. Onyxtronics is a great team. Really cool to see how well they did at this event as well too. And yeah, ISR4 is coming up in just a couple days, or is it tomorrow even maybe? So all the ISR events are like done by the end of this week, and then they have DCMP in a couple of weeks. So they got a lot of time to prepare both for DCMP and hopefully championships.
So I was keeping track of the chat a little bit, and there's a lot of Florida people kind of clamoring, where are the Florida teams? And so next up, we have a frequent member of the FRC Top 25 Club out of Riviera Beach, Florida, Team 179, Children of the Swamp. They were the winners of the South Florida Regional with a record of 15-2-1. The Children of the Swamp employ a robot that's really built around having a fast handoff sequence that moves notes from the intake to the shooter as quickly as possible. This fast handoff allows them to run a 5.5 note auto that is able to almost instantly shoot the 6th note in teleop. The early lead from auto and very clean cycling would help them to rank first overall, where they would pick teams 180 and 744 for their playoff alliance. After easily making it to the finals, the event would come down to the wire where 179 would win via a finals tiebreaker. Congrats on the blue banner to 179 and good luck at Orlando Regional and at Worlds in April.
I think, did that one go to 4 matches out in South Florida?
It did,
yeah.
I believe.
That's nuts, by the way. I was thinking about the more, we've seen a lot of ties, and I wonder if we're going to see potential events go to like 5 or 6 finals matches or something like that. I'm trying to think of the last time we saw something. It was definitely like pre-COVID, right, where we saw tiebreakers go that far, but it's definitely possible to see something like that, especially when you have this game where it's so close. And that's where actually I think I'm going to, what is it called when you put the note on top of the poll? Why am I missing this? Spotlight. Thank you. It's spotlighting. I think I think it'd be really cool to win a regional or an event by getting a spotlight at the end. Like, how epic would that be, right?
You say really cool. I say
horrifying.
Too much RNG, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now at number 16, we have Team 67, the hot team, hailing from Highland, Michigan. Now, fresh off their win at the District Milford event, they dominated with a record of 15-3-0. This team uses a very interesting intake where the note goes under the bumper, but they actually use an over-the-bumper mechanism to help bring the note in. They would use this along with clean shooting and a consistent trap mechanism to rank second at the event, where they would go on to win every playoff match except for Finals 1. Teams 503 and 7660 made their playoff alliance a fun one to watch. Hot team, they've got a lot of events ahead of them. They're going to grow, and the fact that they're coming out of the gate so hot, but it means a lot. I think they're going to go far this year.
I'm pretty excited to see 67 up here. I know in the past they've had like a little bit of an up and down kind of year, and very excited to see them in our first top 25. Because I really love them and watching them. I love their trap mechanism too this year. I think that's really cool to watch.
All right, let's go into our top 15. Christine, who do you have in the 15th spot?
So coming in from, I'm going to do this. This is probably my first time having to say this team's name. Eindhoven, Netherlands. Eindhoven, Netherlands. And a member of Team Rev, we have Team Rembrandts, 4481. 4481, they're, I mean, no surprise, 2019 FRC world champions, and they've remained a top tier FRC team ever since. They are undisputed stars of the Open Alliance, and safe to say that their work inspired hundreds of teams this year. We went over this a few times. So Wainini Port Regional was a ferocious featuring elevated gameplay that you rarely see at week 1 events. The Rembrandts Alliance of 4481, 3647, and 9452 was impressive to watch, and their gameplay created a winning blueprint for other teams to follow. 4481 is known for continuous improvement throughout the season, and their excellence in engineering process will surely bring them new tricks to Houston. So congratulations to 4481 on your first blue banner of the season, most definitely probably not your last, and your excellence in engineering award. And you can watch them again this weekend back at the same venue for the Ventura County Regional.
4481 had a lot to overcome in this event. There were a lot of powerhouse teams taking place in this event. As the number 2 Alliance captain, going up against Peninsula and High Tide as well too, who I know they had some stumbles as well. But then you're also going up against 973 at this event. A lot of other great teams as well too. And to see 4481 just absolutely shine is so cool. I'm so happy for them. They're a team that I've loved following for a long time, even before Open Alliance as well too. And it's just really cool to see how good this team has played. Very clean match play from them overall, and just very excited to see. Another team as well too on their alliance, 3647 got mentioned in their event recap by John as well too. So if you want to learn more about some of their alliance partners as well, make sure you do check out the recap we released on this earlier today.
4481 not only has to battle other robots at their events, they also have to battle their own customs where all of their vortexes got stuck for the entire year. So they're running all Neos because they were not able to add their vortexes, which were stuck in customs. So 4481, they overcome more than any team that I know of in first, and I can't believe they won this event, given, talking to their mentors going into it. It's truly, truly impressive.
Yeah, and they're a team that has just this constantly just positive attitude and high spirit about them, which is definitely not easy with the amount of aside from customs, I just can't even imagine the logistics of bringing that many students with you and making sure that everybody has something to do while they're there. So shout out to them. I'm excited to see them again this coming weekend. And if you're at any of those events with them, make sure you stop by their pit. A, because they're some of the nicest people in the entire world. B, they have sweet socks they're handing out. And C, because their pit visuals and their judge materials and their graphics are top tier. Absolutely incredible. And make sure you go see them. So congratulations to them. And anyway, so moving on to number 14 from Waialulu, Hawaii, and Waialulu High School, and probably one of the longest list of sponsors that is currently on the Blue Alliance. We have the Hawaiian Kids. They went 16-0-1 at the Canadian Pacific Regional, and 359 found themselves ranked first. And they picked up partners St. Louis Crusaders 4270, the Boucherie Bears 8338, and Strike 6902, who they teamed up with to take home one of their bajillionth wins in team history. That may not be an accurate number, but it sure feels like it. And it's crazy to think they've only, when I say only, they've been around since 2000, but I feel like they've been around since day one. They have racked up so many wins. They also took home an autonomous award this weekend, which is definitely not an easy feat. So congratulations and good luck to the Hawaiian Kids. If you didn't watch them this weekend, don't worry. They have 3 more regionals that they'll be playing at before we most likely see them playing in Houston.
Yeah, for those who don't know or haven't had the opportunity to meet Glenn Lee and all the other fantastic mentors on the team, they are just one of the kindest, most awesome teams out there in First. They do a lot of great things to not only help out their own local community, but to help out other teams as well too. So shout out to 359. I also want to give a shout out as well too to Crusaders, our alliance partner, 4270, who's also from Hawaii as well. I got to see them at the Las Vegas Regional last year, where they won the Las Vegas Regional as well. So they're definitely a team that really has had some great growth over the last couple of years. But I don't know about you guys. Every single year over the last few years, at least since post-COVID, I see the Hawaiian Kids robot and I keep saying, wow, that is their best robot yet. And it's like the last 3 years, it just kind of just keeps going that way. And it's like, there's got to be a cap at some point, right? Because 359 really has turned it on, especially since coming out of COVID.
I think what's also playing with us, Tyler, is just how clean the robots look each year. It's like, oh, I like that color combo. Oh, maybe that one's even cleaner. So they definitely have the full package, and it's always amazing to hear and see from Glenn all the incredible opportunities that he provides to students. Just some of the technology that they have hands-on and access to is absolutely incredible. So shout out to them. And again, you can watch them 3 more regional times before the end of the season. So make sure you tune in for that. And coming in at the number 13 spot from a totally different geographical location, we have team 6328 from Littleton, Massachusetts. It's Mechanical Advantage. They had an incredible first showing at a really, really strong week 1 event in our district. They took home the Silver Kling Bling, so congrats to them. They were not only district finalists at this event, but they took home Engineering Inspiration. And shout out to, I hope I'm saying their name right, Advaith D. They won Dean's List this past weekend, so congratulations. That's a pretty solid showing. That's a good feel leaving that event week 1. They're an open alliance team, so we shouldn't have expected anything less than an epic autonomous and quick field maneuvering to crank out cycles of notes in each match. The robot proved to be a scoring machine all weekend that earned them a high rank spot on the number 1 alliance. Or a number 1 pick spot on the number 1 alliance. The New England defense came out in force, and we watched 6328 in their alliance fought really hard against the number 2 alliance. The Littleton robot is looking super spiffy this year, blue and black powder coat. Their unique design utilizes an arm to shoot and score and climb in the amp, or shoot, score and climb, and then score in the amp, sorry. And they score into the trap too. So we'll see them again in just 2 weeks at North Shore, just down the street. So congratulations, a great showing. Nice cling bling from 6328.
Mechanical Advantage has had 9 blue banners in the last 2 seasons, 10 now, including this one, with 2 divisional wins in the last 2 years as well, too. Definitely a team that has just been doing absolutely phenomenal. A lot of people hopefully do recognize them now from their work on the Open Alliance, but just, looking just in general as a team, this is really a complete team because they're winning impact awards. They're winning the events themselves as well, too, and other blue banners. So just overall, Mechanical Advantage, very complete team overall.
Advantage Kit 2 is an unbelievable program and a resource for the community. They're becoming, I think, if they're not already, one of the most well-rounded teams in the program.
Absolutely. When they win Champs Impact in the next 5 years, I won't be surprised. They were phenomenal to work with, not just around New England, but also in Archimedes last year. We were partnered with them. So just absolutely phenomenal team. And I am really excited to see them do this well in terms of New England. It's not every day that you get to, not every year that you get to watch a powerhouse kind of start and then grow. And I think that 6328 has been operating at this level for some time, and it's really nice to see that sustained.
Nice. All right, so coming in at number 12, another district team, and you want to talk about legendary, it is Team 27. It's Rush from Clarkston, Michigan. It is the epic and legendary Rush, and we actually just had Kyle Hughes on last night, right, Tyler?
We did, yeah.
Definitely go check that out. She is an absolute legend. So Rush has brought the heat again in 2024, which blows my mind because it seems like this is happening every single year. This robot features an elite intaking, scoring, and had an incredible polish for a robot competing in week 1. The low pivot shooter, over the bumper intake were super efficient cycling and cleaning up the front court. Rush had a great set of qualifications, seating number 1, choosing 78, 77, 84, and 33 as their alliance partners. The alliance fought hard, and in match 13 of the playoffs, pulled to a 77-77 tie against the number 6 Alliance, unfortunately losing to a tiebreaker in tech fouls. Wild, but this is definitely not the last that we will see of them. They'll be competing again soon, and we'll definitely be most likely seeing them at Michigan State Champs and Championships. But congratulations so far to a great start for Team 27 Rush.
Yeah, Rush, I had an opportunity to do a behind the bumper, so we released yesterday as well, too. It's a lot of 27 love going on here. It's funny because we had Kyle, as you mentioned, Kyle on Roundup yesterday, and post-show, she's like, there's so much Rush right now, people are going to think you're biased or something. Like, yeah, Rush is incredible. Like, their team has been so good. They had some very unfortunate circumstances in regards to getting knocked out of the playoff bracket, and this is one of those things where sometimes not winning an event doesn't mean you're any less deserving than a great spot in number 12 here for Team Rush. So this robot absolutely cooks. I love it. A lot of great things for it. Go check out their Behind the Bumpers explanation as they break down just everything that goes in this robot, which is very impressive.
Yeah, and this team's been around since 1997, so it's not easy to sustain a team that's that good for that long. So kudos to them, and congratulations on a really great start to their bajillionth season. Speaking of legendary teams, coming in at number 11, we have Team 118 from League City, Texas, and Clear Creek ISD. It's the Robonauts. They were winners of the First in Texas Katy District and winners of the Excellence in Engineering Award. Coming off of a 7 blue banner streak in 2023, that's insane. The Robonauts were ready to rock week 1 in Katy. After going 9-3-0 in qualifications, 118 was ranked 4th going into Alliance selection, and they sorry. So the FRC world is still lifting their jaws up from the floor after unveiling of the robot this year, and their dual intake turreted trap scoring monster is a work of art. The Robonauts put their incredible mechanism to great use, using that turret to lock onto the goal and send a ring up into the air, up into the speakers. Sorry, I still get confused when we put notes back into speakers. Combined with a smooth climb, 118 looks poised for another monster season. Something about playoffs, man. 118 still has 4 more events. I don't know. That's insane. For their regular season, including this weekend at the Greene County Regional. So congratulations to 118, the Robonauts. I'm excited to see where they go this year. Every robot of theirs is just like it should be put in the Air and Space Museum. It is absolutely amazing.
Is anybody actually
5 events in the regular season?
It's got
that is insane.
Tiring. How many?
That's like before district champs and before championships. They're competing 5 times before that. Yeah, like 118 being the first team to compete at 2 events simultaneously this past year at Texas Robotics Invitational and also IRI was not surprising. They are just absolutely insane, going back to back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, looking at their lineup, it's pretty incredible. So week 2, Greene County Regional, that's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Week 3, Tallahassee Regional, that's in Tallahassee, Florida. First in Texas District, so they're back home after that. Week 4 in Houston, Texas, and then after that, week 5, it's first in Texas District Space City at Friendswood event in Friendswood, Texas. That's incredible. So I'm always shocked at. I mean, clearly they know how to maintain that robot, and that's something that I think that team has always like really maintained a solid ability to do. Is they really make sure that they know how to take care of each subsystem, but. I'm so curious to see at the end of the season how many matches they have under their belts, because that's pretty incredible. So especially like thinking from the mentor side of things, that is a lot of coordinating of things. So congratulations to them. If you did not get a chance to watch them live, you may have a chance to watch them more than any other team this season. So
something I was going to ask is anybody surprised that they're actually not ranked higher for a team that, 118 always seems to be voted very high for things? I'm actually surprised from the community they actually weren't voted higher, especially after winning their first regional pretty handily too.
Again, I feel like there were so many, obviously notable team numbers, but teams that are becoming those notable team numbers now. So it was hard to kind of pin down okay, who am I going to vote for? Who am I even going to have the time to really, watch and commit to?
I think that means our polls becoming more balanced. Yay! I don't know. I mean, 11's a great spot for 118. Please don't get me wrong. I was just surprised throughout the voting thing that community overall didn't have them higher. A team like that has a lot of notoriety, and sometimes that notoriety carries you a couple extra spots.
50th blue banner.
Wow.
If it says people in chat. So Ty is saying 118 has 50 blue banners. I think it's crazy. Yeah, 50. That's crazy. And the crazy part is too, it's like, okay, we think they're low right now. They still have 4 other opportunities, potentially 5 to get higher. So
Crazy.
that would be an interesting stat to find out which team, based on how many events that they're doing, has the chance to be in the top 25 the most this season. Never know.
Well, before we get to our top 10, we got a couple things to break for. We'll have a giveaway starting up in just a little bit as well, too. But let's go ahead and thank our sponsors of the show,
considering where to go to college, one of the biggest.
Sorry about the audio there. For all their continued support, they've been giving here at First Updates Now. Kettering University, a fantastic place to go if you're looking for attending a place with people who are just like you. Over 30% of students who attend Kettering University were in high school robotics. So go ahead to kettering.edu/first to learn more. And if you are accepted at Kettering University, you can apply for a First or VEX scholarship that's good for up to $5,000 a year. And one of the great things about Kettering University is that every single student is placed into a co-op program where you can start earning money right away. That's one of the best things about Kettering. They have an incredible placement rate for it and a lot of cool stuff. First Robotics Community Center, also have a combat robotics team, esports, and more. Go check more out at kettering.edu/first. And we're going to take a short break to go into our clips of the week that we have every single week. So clips of the week is a little bit longer this week, but a lot of great stuff going on for week 1 of Crescendo. This will be out on YouTube after our show as well, too. So if you're interested in submitting clips in the future, go to discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. That's our Discord on there where you can submit clips up through the end of every single Monday to make it on Clips of the Week. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Blue Alliance taking no break, making sure they can throw those things. And we have 2 on the red. All 3, I haven't seen that yet.
Two strong alliances throwing notes up onto the speakers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might this be 8 notes for the Red Alliance? It is 8 notes in autonomous.
Crescendo! Immediately 3, 4, 5 in the red. Six blue, 5 red. We're live.
Whoa, yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Crescendo.
And we're off here on qualification, match number 61. Big slam over there on the Blue Alliance side of the field. Uh-oh.
Crescendo! אנחנו מתחילים את האוטונומי של המקצה הראשון, אנחנו רואים כבר תפתיות מהירות מ-1693-339. איזה עבודת צוות נהדרת כבר באוטונומי. והאם יש לנו דיסקית אחרונה? כן, יש לנו!
They're ready to score. As T3 looks to fill out that amplification.
The co-op mode is not used here in the playoffs, and instead, every note counts for points.
72, the Wild Stallions with another note, making their way to their speaker. It's up and good. 8861 has lost their shooter on the field.
Near side of the field in the Red Alliance source zone. Waiting for teams to come by to try and play defense. We have a stalemate here at the center of the field. 131 and 95, squaring off.
Spot where they probably don't want it. Oh, we've got some collisions here on the field between Iron Panthers and our tech support machine with a note.
But in the Amplify speaker, they were able to score.
This red. 50 seconds to go. Wow, that was a hardcore collision.
All right, we got, oh no! Spartan Robotics clipped themselves going under that chain.
2998 is up on 2 wheels, and 422 flips their alliance opponent. Team 2998, the flags come flying from the referees.
Killer Bees are picking up 1 from the human player station. And now they are shooting over. Looks like they got that strategy from Spread.
Red Alliance subwoofer blocking the shots successfully from Team Peninsula Robotics.
a note inside. 25-39. Now lining up with the Blue Alliance amplifier. They want to ensure that both of these humans.
Right to shooting that speaker with the robot, Cotton Eye Joe. And now switches to some defense from 2-4-6-8 as the Red Alliance continues to cycle. Robocharge looking to shoot, and they score on that amplified speaker, giving them bonus points.
Able to do so, Red Alliance comes over to chase him away. Blue Machine has to make their way across the field.
Go.
My favorite song. Hey, we got two notes on the mics. Note on blue. All 3 notes on red. All 3 notes on red.
Pyro is adding another with 20 seconds to go. Meanwhile, back on blue, Team Magma. Looks like they have a hold of the chain.
Let's see if 118 can get up. Cerberus is perked. The human player lands 2 notes on the same ring.
One up top for the Blue Alliance and for the Red Alliance. One more for the Blue Alliance as we come to a close. 66.
ניצחון לברית מספר 1 במקצה הבא, והם אלופי דיסטריקט 1. הפסד, ואנחנו נגררים למקצה שובר שוויון.
3 seconds, 2, 1. And a
Wheels up. They're off the ground. It's a double for the Red Alliance. Oh!
And here come the Clippers coming to line up. Hey, they did get it to go. They got
58.95 is on stage. 341 reaching up with 2 seconds remaining.
It be enough as we get to 0 in this match.
And Warriors are climbing. Can we get 2 robots on red? We can, but the bumpers didn't come with.
All right, don't forget to submit your clips of the week, the discord.gg/firstupdates. Now we are going to start our first giveaway of the evening from our friends at Annie Markets for a full set of these compliance stars, by the way, which are the perfect thing for intake mechanism. They have a soft material that gives a way to allow rigid objects to be manipulated easily. You might have seen this on a lot of different mechanisms of FRC robots out there. So if you're interested in winning, type the keyword rainbow in chat right now. That's your opportunity to win. You do have to, actually, you don't need to be following and win anymore. We're still on some of our old Twitch graphics, apparently. But our YouTube, if you are subscribed to YouTube, which is entirely free, you do get 3 times luck to win. So make sure you click that subscribe button. Keep up to everything that Fun has going on. We have so much content coming out, especially in FRC, in the next few days. Let's go back to the FRC Top 25 in number 10.
So we're going to start off our top 10 here. And starting off our top 10, it is the team that sticks out well beyond their area. Team 6036 Peninsula Robotics from Palo Alto, California. With one of the earliest teasers out there, Peninsula returned to Wainimi this year with a highly competitive Smorit robot. They had a record of 10-3-0, and they were the first seed and autonomous award winners at the Wainimi Port Regional. 6036 plays well across the field, scoring up to 6.5 notes in auto and following it with a true shoot-from-anywhere tele-performance. Their robot is top-notch this season with a well-tuned turret and inside-outside full-width collector. They have room to improve, so expect them to only turn it up at their next event. Congrats on a great first event of this season, 6036, and we'll see them next at the Arizona Valley Regional in Week 3.
Yeah, this was a team that last year just had an absolutely phenomenal season. And correspondent Stanford, who did the forecast, had Peninsula listed as a lock, and it Honestly, it wouldn't have been my initial, like, not researching it all when you're going up against, 973 and 4481 and obviously High Tide and stuff like that too. But wow, this robot is incredible. It's so cool to see that, another California team really coming kind of out of that woodwork and really making a name for themselves. And they really did that last year. But I think this year they're going to continue that. Obviously didn't quite get the result that they wanted in this, but unfortunate circumstances, right? Things happen. I think in future ones, you're going to see great things come out of Peninsula.
Absolutely. Also one of the nicest teams I've ever interacted with, just genuinely good people, and absolutely love talking to them.
Well, you'll appreciate the next one then, Ari.
Up next, it's 2468 9th ranked team Appreciate. From Austin, Texas, and Eaton's Independent High School and Westlake High School, 2468 is currently ranked number 1 in the 1st in Texas district with a record of 15-2-0. They were the winners of the 1st in Texas Waco district event with a low robot with excellent middle poaching autos and a quick passing shot. I have loved watching the matches with passing because it's so different than the meta we experienced at Hartford, and it just goes to show like how differently you can play this game effectively, and that really excites me. The 2468 robot is the perfect alliance partner. They play the role of the passer or the shooter. They have compatible autos with their partners that they truly appreciate, especially in the coming weeks. Interestingly enough, they don't have a trap mechanism, but they make up for it with their ability to hit the Melody rank point in all but one of their qual matches, with the number 3 EPA in the world in Teleop. Congrats on a great first event, 2468, especially with the engineering inspiration and winner Kling Bling, and we'll see them next at First in Texas's Fort Worth event in week 3.
To me, they gave us the best strategic preview going forward in the season. I think passing and feeding is going to be extremely relevant, and the way they executed it was second to none. It was the best display of passing I witnessed all week. It's going to be really fun to watch that going forward in later weeks here.
Yeah, this strategy reminded me a whole lot of 2016 when Stronghold people, like when we had alliances in Stronghold that were like handing off game pieces to each other, and that we didn't see that until I would say like maybe week 2 or 3. But seeing this kind of evolution, like you said, or even just like different approach to gameplay is wild. And shout out to Coach Norm and Team Appreciate. Again, another team that Kling Bling is just so well-rounded, constantly like doing great stuff on and off the field. Also one of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Coach Norm, super dude. Can't wait to see them again. And I'm curious to see, like, we don't see a trap mechanism on them and some of these other teams that are high performing. It's like, is this a yet kind of situation, or are we going to see teams that are like, all right, we're not gonna commit to that. Like, plenty of other teams have got it.
Or is the cost analysis of still scoring more in the speaker worth more potentially than what a trap will be at a very high level team? I think there's still potential for that. I think something interesting is speaking about the meta a little bit. I do think you're going to start to see more and more teams incorporating passing. I got to see 33 and 27. We're doing that at Kettering 1. I will make an interesting prediction though, that I think come DCMP area, you might actually start to see a little bit of a shift away from passing as teams start to figure out that you may be able to play some good defense in regards to scooping up notes that are shot to the other side of the field and quickly shuttle them back over as well. So I'll be very curious to see how that strategy continues to play out. Like I said, I think it's going to get really popular during districts and regionals, but how that transforms once we start getting to DCMP and championships, I think will be a very interesting thing to analyze as it happens in the future.
The minute we get more driver practice and drivers get more practice with that like swoop motion, just collecting, and cycles become faster than passing, that's when we're going to start to see it stop being the meta. And I think that's going to happen like week 3 or 4.
All right.
This game is evolving at a crazy level if this is the week 1 stuff we're seeing. So I'm excited for where it goes and where it evolves. And, you know, it's a cool game. So let's move up to the 8th spot. Tide's coming in. It's reigning world champions Team 4414, High Tide from Ventura, California. With a record of 10-3-0, they were semifinalists at the Hueneme Port Regional. 4414 took to the field week 1 with one of the most complicated competitive robots we've seen so far this season. They're a Swirt robot and they make use of it, shooting quickly from anywhere on the field. far from it to say that they had a perfect weekend on the field. They had some issues through their qualification matches and couldn't seem to consistently hit their autos. But when this robot gets tuned in, watch out. We may be at low tide now, but rest assured that they'll be surfing by their next event. Be sure to watch out for high tide next this coming weekend at the Ventura County Regional, held in the same place as Wainimi. But what do we think of 44-14's first outing this year?
This is the lowest that they're going to rank on this list for the entire year. That's my prediction.
That's fair.
Yes.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, when you have unfortunate circumstances, all you can do is try to get better, right? Learn from them and hope that you improve by your next event. And there's no reason why High Tide shouldn't do that, right? So I think we're all in agreement that this is going to be one of those top 3 teams every week that they compete in the future. And obviously, they still got to prove it, right? They still got to do it and get there. But I think we all have the confidence in them that they will.
Yeah, I think of any robot on this list, that robot has the most potential. And we're going to see it happen, which is really cool. So let's move up to the 7 spot. It is the Blazing Bulldogs, Team 581 from San Jose, California, and San Jose High School. With a record of 16-1-0, they were ranked 1 and winners of the Silicon Valley Regional this past weekend. If you don't remember the robot they revealed just 2 weeks ago on premiere night, don't worry. They completely rebuilt their design from a Quokka clone into a pivoting shooter on an elevator with an under-the-bumper intake. And if that isn't crazy enough for you, their driving and their auto make it look like they've had this machine for a while. They start the match with a 6-note auto. They pull 2 from the center, and then 581 cycles in particular to just in front of the subwoofer and the amp. They may not shoot from anywhere on the field like some of the other teams on this list, but their cycle paths are really clean, and their drive-in is practiced and precise. This robot has some massive potential, especially with what we've already seen out of it. So congrats on the win, and we'll see them next at Central Valley in week 4.
Biggest snub from championships last year. So thankful that we're not going to miss them at champs this year.
Absolutely.
Dogs. Absolute dogs.
Very excited to see them get the recognition. I think where they're at is very well deserved for it, and a team that once again we're talking about California, where you're so stacked and so packed with things, and you have this team come out and take the number 1 seed, take the event. So cool to see with this.
For a team that missed champs last year too, this is absolutely so well deserved for them. I can't wait to see where their season goes from here. So here to tell us what all the buzz is about. In our 6th spot, we have Team 3339 Bumblebee from Hamarkaz, Israel. With a record of 32-4-0, they were the number 1 seed and winner of the Israeli District 1 and number 2 seed and winner at Israeli District 3. Currently 3rd in the world in EPA, Bumblebee's strength is their autonomous runs, where they consistently score every shot with their most impressive scoring 5, stealing 3 from the far side of the field and shooting from the wing line. Dare I mention, again, on the far side of the field. They follow their auto with a smooth teleop performance where they shoot from literally anywhere. They haven't truly worked out the shoot on the move path yet, but when they do, this robot will certainly have the sting it needs to what's shaping up to be a very competitive district. Congrats on both of the wins this past week and the engineering inspiration today at ISR 3, and we'll see them next at Israeli District Champs in week 4.
I feel like Israel always comes out of the gate strong, especially their top teams. It just feels a little different this year. It feels like they're even more polished, even more ready. Bumblebee is a great example of that. It feels like they're going to be, if you put them in any other location, any other regional district, whatever, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're super fun to watch. Between them and Orbit, just really, really fun combination.
They're such a testament to if you start to really niche dial in something as a team and develop a very solid foundation, this is what can happen. It's this is where they're starting off. This is how they're able to transfer that knowledge year to year and just improve over time with cycling new students through is absolutely incredible.
Bumblebee has been a little more quiet, I think, over the recent years. And you think, back, Bumblebee, really, really big name in like mid 2010s and that sort of thing. And the last years they won a district each of the last 2 years. So it's not like that's not bad or anything like that. But for Bumblebee standards, this year, I think has really been a big improvement for them. They had pretty early exits at championships. And I think DCMPs the last couple of years as well, too. So to see them start off so well so far. I can't wait to see what they do at Israel DCMP, where they're bound to be a big favorite at that event. All right, into number 5, we have a few things to go over for today. Let's go ahead and draw for the giveaway from our friends at AnyMark. By the way, rainbow was that keyword for the set of the compliant stars. By the way, a new thing for those who are joining our live shows new right now. If you win a giveaway, please go to firstupdatesnow.com/winner and fill out the form in order to win. That's how we're doing that now. No need to email or DM or anything like that. Just go to there and fill out your information for that. Giovanni Copioli. Hey, Giovanni. Congratulations to you for winning the AnyMark compliance star. So just fill out that form. Once again, firstupdatesnow.com/winner for that. And congratulations to you as well. A couple other things to go through as we get ready for our top 5 on this show. We're going to be going through the top 50 teams that didn't quite make the top 25, but still had a phenomenal run so far. So let's just overview a couple of those real quick, bring them up on screen. And then we're going to be talking about our snubs of the week as well, too, in just a moment. So let's just start out real quick, top 50 on here. Some big names that we went through. We talked about some teams like Millennium Falcons and Crusaders as well. Valor coming in from Texas as well, too. Killer Bees, who I know just missed on the top 25, but a lot of great teams. Actually, Killer Bees are listed twice in here somehow, so I think that's a typo, but they're 26 both times, I guess, but so they are 26. But so as we go into this, obviously want to give our love to the top 50 teams in here. Any big shout outs for anybody on these top 50 that anybody wants to give a quick shout out to, and then we'll go into our snubs of the week.
1768. Only Hartford team
yeah.
on here. Absolutely, they deserve it. That shooter is fantastic. They don't have like any trap mechanism or anything, but they well deserved the second seed at Hartford. Absolutely incredible shooter. Wonderful to listen to. I know we were talking about sounds in this game earlier, but just phenomenal robot, and I cannot wait to see where they go this year. That thing makes me so excited.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. That's a solid start for that team. 131, I think, was on that list somewhere.
42nd.
Right below.
Yeah. Incredibly well-driven robot. Week 1 coming out super, super strong. They put up constant good fights, like smart play, just insanely fast all weekend. And I would say was keeping up with a lot of the top-tier teams at Granite State, and just epic showing week 1 for them.
I see a lot of teams that are going to make the list later in the year. A lot of really strong teams that, came out week 1. They looked good. And I'm very confident a lot of these teams are going to be in the top 25 as we go through the year.
I'll give a shout out to a team that may not make the top 25, but definitely is a team that is very underappreciated out there, and that is going to be 1156 Under Control from Brazil, who we got to see their reveal video on premiere night, and I absolutely love that robot, and they did so well. If you didn't get a chance to watch the Brazil regional, by the way, their AV production quality is absolutely insane. So go and watch that event. Go check out a couple on there. But a lot of great teams on the top 50. And Christine, thinking about when we've been doing top 25, you and I have been doing it since 2016 season. Mike and Justin before that as well too. Yeah. And the reality is now is that we can't go through 50 teams, right? No matter what number we set, it's never going to be enough, but we want to give that recognition to, as FIRST continues to grow and FRC grows, we have so many more teams that deserve recognition. So we want to make sure we put them up on screen as well. So, coming up next, we're going to go into our snubs of the week on here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and start our second giveaway of the evening. That's going to be from our friends at RoboBits. This is for the MK4i swerve covers that they have as well. So this is a two-piece cover design for the SDS MK4i swerve modules. They protect internals from debris and carpet fibers and keep any unwanted items free from spinning gears. This is a set of 4 upper and 4 lower covers, enough for 4 MK4i modules. That's a lot of 4s on there. So if you're interested in winning this, type OP cover in chat. YouTube subscribers is absolutely free. Click that subscribe button, get 3 times luck, and we'll draw from that after our number 1 team. So Christine, let's talk about those snubs of the week. Who's yours for this week that didn't make the top 50 even?
So I'm gonna preface this with any like snub of the week that I came up with was in the top 50. And then I was just kind of thinking like, who's kind of showed up week 1 and absolutely like crushed it relative to like how they've usually been doing. And I'm gonna go, and I would typically not go with like my hometown team, but I will say Team 175 Hall of Fame team, Buzz Robotics, came out swinging this season. This is their first win since 2016. This is an event that they showed up. They were an alliance captain. They chose some really good teams. 177. Who else did they choose? Because my mind is totally
51-12.
Yes, Gondoliers.
Gondoliers.
51-12. So it was really a testament to the team that has developed, I would say, over time. Huge student representation. They have a Dean's List winner. They won Excellence in Engineering, I believe. Typically not a team that would be raking in this many district points, especially week 1. And the amount of like just constant like hard work and effort that was put into that team, I think, is definitely something that's to be looked at. And I know that even when I was on that team in high school and we were winning regionals and qualifying for champs, it's definitely hard to be an old school Hall of Fame team. They don't get their free ride anymore to champs, but that's kind of the stigma that surrounds them. And it's a team that's been around for a very long time. So to see them do so well this weekend absolutely was awesome. My family kind of helped run that team for a long time. So to see that it's being like kind of cared for and like everybody's putting in as much kind of like care and passion as we did way back in the day. It's just really cool to see because it's not kind of like Rush 27. Like it's not easy to maintain like a long-standing team, especially when it's like, you know, based out of a school. So kudos to 175 Buzz Robotics out of Enfield, Connecticut. I hope that this year I have a feeling they'll make it to district champs at least. I would love to see that team qualify for champs and earn their way back. So congratulations to them. And who do we have next given snubs? Because I'm very curious to see who else has something good.
So my snub for the week, and I've actually seen them come up a few times in chat, so
yeah.
Chat, you'll appreciate this one. Rookie team 9496 Link. They competed this week out of district at the CHS district in Blacksburg, Virginia. They are typically a North Carolina team, and we usually don't talk about those like southern districts here on Top 25 a lot. It's not an area that gets recognized very often, but this team impressed me so much. They're a rookie team. They built a very simple shooter with a fixed angle, so they only shoot from one location, but they have autos to match, and they look like they've been practicing for weeks now. This robot absolutely flies across the field, picks up notes very efficiently, and it is absolutely the robot that any rookie should have built this season. And I just appreciate seeing that out on the field and being so as successful as it is. So shout out to 94 and 96 Link.
All right, for me, so first of all, I'm going to shout out the hardest working team in chat, 5472. Congrats to your Dean's List finalist, Darren A, as well. But for my actual snub of the week, I have team 6147 Tonka Bots out of Minnesota. They actually attended the Northern Lights Regional with me. Christine, I believe you had a great nickname for them, but what I would say is they have the highest endgame EPA in the world. They are unbelievably good at the trap, arguably the best team in the world at the trap. They completed 3 of them in 38 seconds, as you're watching in the video here. Absolutely unbelievable. They are a tall robot. They built the robot that you should have built. They built the robot that, 80% of teams should have built. It's unbelievable. I'm jealous. They beat our butts, and I'm really, really happy to have another great team in Minnesota doing as well as they are.
That's like a solid 4-inch googly eye I see on that robot too. So
it's fantastic.
Is it a colored? That's a colored googly eye. I like that.
I
yeah.
love the construction tape too for the Tonka bots. That's cute.
It's great.
Let me ask you just for this team. I mean, what is the viability of getting the 15 points for the trap? Is it, from a time cost basis, is it worth it in the amount of time that they're doing, or even if they speed it up a little bit?
I mean, you tell me. They're getting 15 points in 38 seconds. I mean, do I think that they do that at the World Championships? Since they won the regional, they'll be there. I don't know that they're doing that at the World Championship, but at their week one, I think it's extremely viable points per second.
All right, well, my snub of the week is going to be a team coming out of Michigan that I had an opportunity to see a bit more last year. And this year, they're at an event that I think just didn't get enough recognition in Michigan. We talked about when Michigan has 5 events. Unfortunately, a couple of them kind of fall in their fold. But this team right now is 21st in EPA in the world right now, 3rd in Michigan overall. And that's 6081 Digital Dislocators, who are just bringing another phenomenal robot once again. Autonomous-wise, usually getting 3 to 4 each time on there. A little bit of work to be done there, but overall, this robot is absolutely cooks. They had the tadpole robot last year. If you saw the little tadpole robot, one of those super small ones that they built during off seasons as well, but they had a really good charged up robot too. And this year, looking really good as well, winning the event out at their event out of Michigan as well too. So a team that I think has really flown under the radar a lot, that deserves some more recognition, and looking really good. 6081 Digital Dislocators out of Michigan.
They're first in Michigan district.
Oh, they are first right now?
Yeah.
In points or what?
In points, in district points.
Oh, very cool. So awesome. Yeah. So we still have the giveaway going on right now, by the way, for RoboBits. So make sure you are typing in OP cover for that keyword. But let's get into our top 5 teams here, week 1 of the FRC top 25. Ryan, who do you got?
Yeah, so a common contender here on FRC Top 25. Coming in at number 5, we have the RoboChargers from Dallas, Texas. They were winners of the Waco District event. They ended up with a record of 15-2-0. The RoboChargers used one of the most unique playoff strategies that I've seen. 2 robots effectively spent the bulk of the match feeding 3005 as many game pieces as possible. They would use this strategy to score an average of over 100 points throughout the playoffs, and they wouldn't lose a single playoff match. This playoff strategy would not be possible without their teammates 2468 and 2158. Also, their front and back intake makes it extremely viable for RoboChargers to play that rebounder and cleanup role. Otherwise, the RoboChargers would use an extremely efficient under-the-bumper intake, a very accurate shooter to score as many game pieces as possible in a short period of time. Good luck to the RoboChargers the rest of the year. Great job on the incredible machine. One of my favorites to watch, definitely, throughout the week.
Yeah, I have, a lot of good friends on RoboChargers, and this, they have become the Texas team, right? Like out there, 2468, absolutely phenomenal the last couple of years as well too. But I think, they really have been that team that, last year, going into the division finals where they came this close to a broken swerve module, to upsetting Citrus Circuits and breaking their streak out there, right? I mean, this team is hungry and really wants to keep on going. For them, in my opinion, I think this is they want to be on Einstein this year. They expect to be on Einstein this year with how good they've been. So 5 for me. I don't know. Could they be maybe a spot or 2 higher even, or even a couple more? RoboChargers looking really good, and very excited to see this team. Really, the last 2 years coming out of Texas, just doing phenomenal.
Now that I think about it, I think 3005 just doesn't like driving up and down the field, because the last 2 years they've had feeding strategies where their alliance partners would just give game pieces to them. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to that.
Yeah, fair enough on that. All right, number 4, who we got?
Yep, coming in at number 4, we have Team 6329 from Bucksport, Maine. It's the Bucks Wrath. They are the Granite State District event winners, and they came away with a record of 14-4-0. The Bucks Wrath would use one of the more unique mechanisms of angling shots that I've seen. Their bot uses an under-the-bumper intake that hands off to a pivot point that is held above the bot. They would use this polished machine to rank second at the Granite State District event, where they would pick ranked 5687 and team 238. After falling out of the top of the playoff bracket, they would battle back and win both finals matches to add another blue banner to their growing collection. Congrats to the Bucks Wrath on an amazing season, an amazing robot, and I'm really looking forward to see where they go from here.
Absolutely. Bucks Wrath has been on a incredible upward trend for the past 2 years. Like they were good. And then it's just the past 2 robots that they've had just absolutely taken off to this stellar level. And this year is no different. The rumor floating around New England at the week 0 event was that they've had this robot built mechanically since week 2. And I was like, I don't really know. And then the reveal video came out and I was like, yeah, okay. Maybe they have had that robot since week 2. This machine
That's what happens when you got that dope shop teacher running a solid FRC program in a nice small district up in Maine, baby. They've been cranking out awesome robots. Seeing that robot in person was incredible.
Seriously.
And I had heard that, one of the like small changes they made was like I think they had planned for an over the bumper intake and changed it up to be under bumper intake. I feel like they're going to be making some iterations to probably like the area that holds the note inside of their robot. There were a few matches where, they got slammed into and it kind of like slid in a weird spot and they were able to suck it back up pretty quickly. There was one epic match. It was like, honestly, it had the energy level of like 1,000 suns going on. It was all it was like 63-28, 63-29, 10-58. Connor was actually announcing that match. It was insane, but Bucks jammed up. And I think this is something that they're going to look at between this event that they were just at and their next one. It's kind of that intake and where they're going to be putting like the notes on the inside of their robot. So if you thought this was good, it's only going to get better from here is my guess.
And I'm excited to see it.
I am too. All right, coming in now at number 3, team 2910, we have Jack in the Bot from Mill Creek, Washington. At this point, they're an inevitability on this list. They would go on to win the PNW Glacier Peak event with a record of 16-3-0. Jack in the Bot employs one of the cleanest turrets that I've seen for this game on top of one of the smallest robots in classic Jack in the Bot fashion. They are built to shoot in the most efficient way possible, and that they do. At their event, they would cleanly rank first, and they would go on to pick their teammates 360 and 30-49. They would win in the finals through the lower bracket after losing the winner's bracket finals match. One of the cleanest machines in the game and one of the best robots I've seen. Good luck to Jack in the Bot for over the rest of the year.
They're incredible.
I love how the robots.
Yeah, this is one of those teams where you can only say so much about a team, and then it's like they're just so good every single year now, and it's just like, just watching the spot every single year. I wish they got lower personally.
Well,
Tyler, if you're looking for lower, let's take a look at number 2. So next up at number 2, we have Team 1690 Orbit from, I'm going to butcher where they're from, Binyamina, Hazafan, Israel. They're winners of both ISR 1 and 3 with a season record of 33-1-1. Orbit has one of the smallest robots in first this year. It can't be much taller than the bumpers. It's insane because their bumpers are on the ground. I think it's the first robot I've seen that could actually drive underneath the low bar from 2016. Orbit would go on to rank first at both of their events. They'd pick 33-39 at both of their events. At their first event, they picked 51-35. At the second event, they picked 44-16. Working with 33-39, they pulled off what is essentially a perfect auto. They scored 10 notes in auto, clearing out all of the middle game pieces. It was unbelievable at ISR number 1. The craziest part of the robot is they're doing all of this with only 11 inches of height, and they're even able to trap. That's exactly what I expect from Orbit at this point. They can't blow me away because they've done the impossible year after year. Great job on another machine. One of my favorite to watch. Just an incredible engineering marvel.
Yeah, Orbit, last year, for Orbit's standards, I think had a disappointing season for themselves coming at, in the championships and stuff. But man, I mean, this is another one of those teams where we're just like, this is their best robot again, right? And like every single year it is keep raising that bar, or in Orbit's case, lowering the bar, I guess, or lowering the bumpers at least. But I mean, this is one of those robots where your jaw just hits the floor. Like, this is a marvel of engineering, right? This is beyond a robot itself. This is just like something that you can just look at it and it's just, you're in absolute awe. This is like, to me, this reminds me like the awe that I saw like a 971 in 2016 or something like that. Where
I was about to say this is one of those robots where it's like, I need to see it in person at champs, like, and it reminds me so much of like the simplicity is just so complex in some capacity. It's kind of like 254's 2014 robot. Like, it's like, how, but like, how? So I definitely want to see it in person to believe it, because it's kind of like puppy pictures or kitten pictures. Until you see it in person, the size just doesn't compute.
All right. All the drama, all the buildup, and probably not a lot of question as to who is coming in at number one. From Davis, California, Davis Senior High School, it is the Citrus Circuits, 18-2-1 record. They were the winners of the Winemie Port Regional. This is an event that will go down as having one of the most intense finalist matches in recent memory. The Citrus machine features a telescoping arm, a forklift-style end climb, and a wide intake. I'm going to stop right there. What I should say, that was from the 2023 script that I wrote last year. But what I'm going to say about what they did this season is they won their 23rd regional in a row. 23rd. And the significance of that should be felt across the first world, because they have tied OP Robotics for the most regional wins in a row in history.
We want a shirt.
We want a shirt. Combine that with the fact that they have, is it 10 Einstein appearances in a row? Just unbelievable, the streak that they've been on. They've done it consistently year over year. They are, the team that we all strive to be. Their team is unbelievable.
The amount of documentation and just what they've contributed to the FRC community beyond just the 23 win streak is phenomenal. FRC is what it is today because of teams like 1678, and they've definitely influenced our team, and I know any number of other teams in the community.
Yeah, this is one of those teams where, their robot gets a lot of the respect it deserves, but this is a team that has a lot of impact in the community and has received impact and previously chairman's awards and things like that as well too. This is a complete team once again, and the resources they've been able to put out to the community have been fantastic. In a team that, once again, when you look at, what FIRST is, it's not just about the robot. The robots are cool. We like to glorify them a lot because they're the thing that moves and shines and does things like that. But the impact that teams like Citrus have had within the community has been absolutely phenomenal through and through. So really cool, obviously, to see them number one, but really happy for them to also take the first Impact Award too at the Silicon Valley Regional.
Yep. No. How many teams have heard of an alpha robot prior to 1678? We called our robot or practice spot an alpha bot. We stole it from them. Their impact is second to none.
Well, congratulations to our top 25 teams this week. We'll have, if you are watching live, we'll get this up on YouTube archives tomorrow as well, too, and clips of the week up very soon. But let's go ahead and draw for our giveaway. Once again, that was for the OP MK4i Swerve cover set. Once again, if you do win, firstupdatesnow.com/winner, firstupdatesnow.com/winner. Radio says I have to say it 3 times, so I'll say it a 3rd time in a little bit as well, too, so everybody remembers. Simon Zwart, congratulations, Simon. You are taking home this giveaway as well too. So make sure you go once again, firstupdatesnow.com/winner. and make sure you fill out the paperwork so we can claim that and get that shipped out to you. Just a heads up, by the way, we do tell suppliers to please ship within 2 weeks, but it is competition season. Everybody's crazy right now, so please be patient. But if you got any concerns, please reach out to admin@firstupdatesnow.com so we can always follow up with suppliers as well. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the FRC Top 25 Week 1. Special thanks to everybody who clicked the subscribe button, and a couple people YouTube joined as well, too. Saw Crypto Rex joining up to be a member. So thank you very much, everybody, for keeping fun, loud, live, and independent as well, too, as we create fantastic content for you throughout the season. So much more to come. Tons of behind the bumpers. Obviously, our shows that we're doing as well, too. Tomorrow, if you are watching on Wednesday, is when our preview show, which is FRC Forecast, will release as well, too. So keep an eye out for that and so much more. Don't forget to vote every single week at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. Polls will open for the FRC voting is at FRC Top 25, or firstupdatesnow.com/FRC Top 25. Voting for that opens at 5 p.m. Eastern Sundays, or earlier sometimes, closes 5 p.m. Eastern Mondays. Clips of the week you can submit at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. So many different links, or you can just go to firstupdatesnow.com, and we got a link tree with all those links for you to enjoy as well, too. So, all right, Christine and Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. We'll have a couple of correspondents throughout the FRC Top 25 season as well, too. And we can't wait to meet so many more of you in chat as well, too. So we'll see you next time on First Updates Now. Talk to you then. Good luck to all teams competing in Week 2. See you, everybody. This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you, and also in partnership with the following. Discover how Kettering University students engineered their success with Kettering's amazing co-op employment programs, where students earn great pay and gain valuable experience. Those accepted into Kettering University can apply for a robotics scholarship, providing up to an additional $5,000 a year in tuition assistance. Head on over to kettering.edu/first to learn more and apply.